Why do I use Instagram? बहुत क्विक मनी है यार, मुझे पैसे थोड़े मिल जाते हैं इंस्टाग्राम के एड से, एंड देन आई कैन एटलीस्ट सिट एट होम and rather not do anything and sit at home than do a film that I don't want to do.
I saw a video by Casey Alonso where she spoke about the desperate nature of actors who were popular back in the day and used nostalgia bait to stay relevant, often leading to several embarrassing moments that make audiences feel like they are jobless. This inspired me to think about the same situation in the Hindi film industry, what the once popular actors do when the work dries up. One of the inevitable truths that one has to deal with while being a part of the film industry is that your reign and position in it is transitory. No one has the privilege to have the longevity of the Trimurti of the Hindi film industry or the Khans. This, especially for those who don't have the security of their family being key decision makers within the industry, puts them under constant pressure to reinvent, to be relevant, and to be monetarily secure. As everyone does not have the privilege to be in the constant demand for films and advertisements, there are many side hustles that actors pursue in order to be secure when work dries up. If you look at certain examples from the West, these kind of business decisions have also been employed by many within the Hindi film industry too. Jessica Alba's Honest company that aims to provide environment-friendly baby products has branched out since 2011 and developed a quarterly revenue of $85 million in 2022. Reese Witherspoon's book club, which folded into her own media company Hello Sunshine, was sold for a whopping $900 million in 2021. Ashton Kutcher, being an early investor in companies like Uber, Airbnb and Spotify, has generated him millions. These are all actors who are not actively working in films currently, but are more than sufficient with their lucrative businesses. Something that we see with actors like Hrithik Roshan and his investment stake in HRX and CureFit, Katrina Kaif with a collaboration with Nykaa, and if you want to see actors who are not as active in film roles, you've got the likes of Sunil Shetty, investing early since the 90s, even taking stake in equity at an early stage of his acting career for advertising rather than cash payments, a successful entrepreneur with a handsome portfolio. And you look at someone like Danny Denzongpa and his success with the Yuksumi Breweries, a beer manufacturing company that has generated hundreds of crores in revenue. The reason I want to address this topic is because when you don't see actors or filmmakers coming in movies week in and week out, many people ask, how the hell are they managing such an expensive lifestyle when the work has dried up? While I have referenced those actors who have thriving businesses, it isn't as sunshine and flowers for actors who are not in the reckoning for roles, but we still see them in the posh locations in Mumbai, begging the question, how do they make their money? So sit back, relax as I categorize celebrities who may not be in films anymore but are side hustling in order to either reinvent, create a niche for themselves, or simply survive in this new chapter of their lives. I use the word jobless loosely as it just represents everything other than acting or appearing in movies. The untalented Nepo babies. This category includes the actors that debuted in the mid-2000s and were given several opportunities to prove to us that they have acting chops. This includes the likes of Tushar Kapoor, Zaid Khan, Fardeen Khan, Uday Chopra and Harman Baweja. Actors who clearly had been handed over films due to their lineage from film families and time again got exposed due to their lack of ability. The Jackie Bhagnani route, where failed acting careers transitioned to careers as a film producer, Tushar Kapoor, who is found now awkwardly dancing on Instagram on random songs, recently has become a producer. And Uday Chopra handles the subsidiary Hollywood production house YRF Entertainment. While Fardeen and Harman Baweja tried their stint with OTT platforms with Hira Mandi and Scoop respectively, Zaid Khan tried his comeback by attempting to be a part of daily soaps with a serial titled Hasil. Imran Khan, with an intense PR campaign, has been planning the same return. An actor who was heavily trolled for his lack of acting range is now being requested by hordes of fans to return. While the DILF and nostalgia edits are confined to social media, the several interviews on Jane Tu Ya Jane Na being ahead of its time are tiring. The reason why an Imran can also take a hiatus for so long is not only because he did a lot of movies in his prime, but because the film families have so much generational wealth. Trust me when I say this, they are more than fine if they're just chilling. So they aren't sweating because of lack of work. Trust me. The mid-tier. These are the actors who are currently working in the film industry and get work few and far between. These are mostly outsiders like the likes of Vikrant Massey, Adarsh Gaurav, Siddhant Chaturvedi or Vamika Guppi, all of whom cannot depend on just the acting paychecks and have worked towards a parallel source of income through social media. So you will see an Adarsh Gaurav promoting a hair serum on his Instagram, Vikrant Massey's Instagram that has every company possible as you go down the grid, Vamika who herself has confessed to only doing social media for the revenue generation through brand endorsements, several of which you can see on her page. So what's essentially another stream to generate an income has also become a means by which actors who are not getting work around the clock in the year can not only stay afloat but thrive. Back in the day when actors were not getting offers in acting roles, they were just waiting for work. At least the generation of such avenues has made many talented actors monetarily secure. The most interesting in the same batch of actors, however, are actors like Esha Gupta, Neha Sharma and Aisha Sharma, who essentially are influencers at this point, exactly knowing what sells and get engagement, developing the numbers in terms of a massive male following, and then promoting everything under the sun. The acting gigs are dry, so social media advertising and music videos it is. Because why in God's name would Esha Gupta co-star in a music video with Elvish Yadav? You only tell me in the comments below. The Remember Them actresses. Many of our national crushes in the mid-2000s mainly left acting after getting married. While Asin seems to have kept a low profile since leaving acting, there are many actors that have started new professions and side hustles, which honestly have been quite shocking for me. You remember Udita Goswami in movies like Paap and Zehar? She has now transitioned to actually do DJ gigs. This is a much smoother transition than Lord Bobby ever had, and when you look through her Instagram, it genuinely feels like she is having a lot of fun in the gigs she's performing at. An actor like Riya Sen slightly bamboozles me. A beautiful model who was seen in many ad campaigns and music videos. She had a very erratic film career, most noteworthy appearances being in Style, Kayamat and Apna Sapna Money Money. Riya has sadly found herself in mostly sleazy or B-grade films and series recently. To diversify her monetary streams also, Riya Sen in collaboration with Arms Prime started her own app called Riya Sen the Official App, a Cameo and OnlyFans amalgamation of sorts where you can personally interact with fans. This is what a lot of influencers have started in India, by the way. Kim Sharma, the Mohabbatein actress who we did not see at all after 2010, is currently working with Dharma's talent agency. One of the most charming actresses, Isha Sharvani, who we saw in movies like Kisna and Luck by Chance, has now fully committed to performing arts on stage, something that is of a family lineage of sorts, having classically trained in Kalaripet under the mentorship of her own mother. You remember Manisha Lamba? An actress I had such a huge crush on, by the way. I got so sad looking at the lack of work she was getting as the years passed by. And the actor shockingly has for a few years had a stint as a professional poker player. There are some career paths, I guess, that just come out of nowhere. The best batch of celebrities. These are essentially the actors who have naturally transitioned to roles that they anyway excelled at. Some of the celebrities that I felt an instant connection with were the first batch of VJs. MTV and Channel V was a cultural phenomena. TV channels and hosts that looked like you, spoke like you, and just seemed like such a leap away from the regressive daily soaps that we otherwise saw on other channels. The early batch has all transitioned to do a variety of things. The likes of Shehnaz Treasurywala tried her bit in acting, but has tilted to become a full-time travel influencer. Cyrus Brocha, who we all fell in love with due to his MC and interviewing skills on The Week That Wasn't, is actually originally a theatre nerd who started his career as a child star and is now found on his hilarious podcast Cyrus Says. Malaika Arora, who used to host shows with Cyrus Brocha and did a number of songs and films, has fully transitioned to do gym looks in the streets of Bandra for Viral Bhayani. I only mean jokes. I am sure the judging gigs for every reality show must be paying handsomely. Mini Mathur, who was the face of Indian television for decades, seems to have taken a break from the same. Sophie Chaudhary, if you remember, is still banging out music singles. Remember how her remake numbers of classic Hindi songs were all the rage at one point of time? Many in the same batch of OG VJs actually assimilate the most with hosting gigs for sporting or live events. I must also tell you, on a completely side note, the amount of money hosting gigs make, the most in demand for which, by the way, is someone like Manish Paul. It's absolute insanity. So when you think that an actor or host is cringe because of their antics while being an MC at an event, trust me, you have no idea of the kind of bank they are making and the properties they must have invested in the most posh locations of Mumbai. They are absolutely killing it. The yesteryear starlet and the experimental Nepo babies. When you see an actor like Neena Gupta, who has so beautifully reinvented herself at this stage of her career, she was actually just waiting for work, bemused at the fact that people thought that she had left the industry, having to post on social media that she is an actor who is available for work for people to notice. This is the truth for many yesteryear actors who are in and around Mumbai but don't get work. Zeenat Aman and her current trend of advertisements are all a result of just posting aesthetic and well-written and nuanced posts on Instagram, and for people to finally notice. Otherwise, these talented legends are actually just waiting for work. The experimental Nepo babies are also a very interesting lot who do a bunch of things before they find their calling. When Ananya Birla had announced that she had quit the music industry to transition to focus on the business, I found it so hilarious because it was as if she was given a few years to experiment, and as nothing really materialized of the music career, it's back to the multi-billion-dollar inheritance. You see the likes of Arbaz Khan and Malaika Arora's son trying his bit on social media with an entertaining talk show, and Anurag Kashyap's daughter and Chunky Pandey's niece becoming lifestyle influencers who benefit from being in affluent circles to portray an aspirational life in their vlogs and story updates. What I have come to realize is that everyone not so talented but from film families find ways to assimilate within the industry. If not, the generational wealth is more than enough to sustain their lifestyles. Trust me, the Deol sons are not sweating cause their debut films did not create waves. A lot of the side hustles, for some, may be a parallel stream of income, but for others, it's literally survival. At least this is harmless compared to actors who with abundant wealth feel compelled to advertise tobacco products.